subject as a department. As a research scholar and Department of Rural Development and Social Work, as under the supervision of Professor Honorable Professor Professor M. Munnayanappa sir, as in Department of Rural Development and Social Work, SK University. As first, I would like to thank the as organizers of the webinar. Look like as entitled of predominance of individuals, systematic and literature in the construction of an ideal society. As one a wonderful Zoom platform. I thanks to webinar director and my beloved social exclusive and inclusive policy as a director. Sir, sir, good afternoon, sir. And today session as a chairperson, Dr. K. Venkatreddy, sir, as is one of the as assistant professor and as a vice chairman in SSIEP. Would like to take this opportunity to present my paper as the importance and involvement of social work profession in the structure of ideal society. Let us introducing of my topic as social work emerged of humanitarian and democratic ideals. Its value are based on respect for equality, worth and dignity of all individuals. Since its beginning, over a century ago, social work profession has put on emphasis on meeting human requirements and development of human potential human potential and society. As its human rights and social justice service as the motivation and justification for social work action. The main areas that have been taken into account are principle of social work, facts of social work, demands of social work as a professional opportunities in the field of social work at the society as a societies and the skills required for effective job duties of the social work. People who use social work service may include children, as it may include for the service to include children, young people, adults, females, group and communities. Addressing the needs of people requires the provision of necessary knowledge, skills and abilities. As look like what kind of importance in the society as a social work? Importance of social work. Social work is a profession which promotes social change. Social work is a promotion which promotes to a social change, problem solving in human relationship and enhance well-being. It is important to acknowledge the history of social work and purpose of social work and why it exists. Social work is a question with different perspectives on what is the how it should be practiced. Social work helps people to deal with the personal and social problems so that people can be overcome or adjust to any kind of personal difficulties. Look like it. So social work is a combination of social stability and social change. Social stability promotes individual and social welfare and social change. See change negative aspects, negative aspects of society as values are implicated within the law and policy, and this tend to reflect the values within the society. Personal values can be influenced the ways of social workers interpret and implement their profession. Many individuals from as a communities have devoted their time and efforts to do social work. A lot of these volunteers did their practice in characters as as a cultures before it was recognized as a profession, as a social work profession. It was through social investigation and attempts to understand family situations that social work begin to develop a profession. A lot of profession people such as teachers or lawyers believe that what they do is also social work. That is why social work is very broad context. Social work is more just doing as a way of society. Then there are certain ethics they have to follow for the kind of look like ethics and morals that social work must be follow and guidance of for the professional standard of work. However, sometimes people are not aware their own values thoughts. The more fully conscious someone is about their values, the more people are able to ensure as next one is social work as a career. Look like a social work career, the career of social work. This as a articles social work topic and describe career of social worker allows many great experience such as child welfare and family service, mental health, medical social work, school social work, community organization, planning and policy development, social welfare administration. The purpose of the essay informs how the social work is a great path that delivers a helpful experience and offering a fundamental skill to learn. Throughout this essay, readers will be learn the importance of the work and look like to introducing of areas of creativity they bring to society. This essay will describe different types of social workers and on the importance of the social workers. Workers career paths and all the creativity they bring out of society. Social worker help people through the counseling service and referral to other services. They also help make society more responsive to people need through policy and advocacy roles. As administrators must have an understanding of human behavior, a commitment of social work ethics and values, and a vision for the future. They play a very major role since they can regulate policies. In the absence of board of directors, some of the responsibilities they are required to do or establish as a budget, manage the physical facilities, organize and community needs and service, and also coordinate fundraising. Throughout this research, research easy shows that the social work allow many different career path to how the social work impacts our society, as well as going knowledge how to help the humans and learn about the human behaviors. This main purpose of social work are focused on find the right solution to fulfill other lives. People choose social worker career and make change to our society. Then social role in the social work. Social work is a great significance worldwide as aiming to bring about social change and development as a cohesive within the society, empowerment and liberation of people as particulars they who are in need, who are in need. As International Federation of Social Workers, International Association of Social Work includes the registration as a providing of resources and prevention. A social work can be defined as an individual who are trained and qualified in a field of social work. He and she works with the vulnerable people and effort to bring about change in the as and develop their social functioning. This done by done by hope of the individual meeting their social needs, identify and finding solutions. As empowerment, look like empowerment can be defined as a technique of employment by social workers to allow individuals to help themselves to region social functioning. It helps them understand themselves as a person as well as give them freedom to make decisions for them. It becomes self-actualized. The social worker who is empowerment focused to be aims to bring about social justice and giving for the advocacy can be defined as a role is given to the social work who aims to bring awareness and interest to institutions about the needs of clients. Since most time these institutions like make it difficult for client to accept help, the social worker aims to bring about change in these institutions by sharing what the client's needs and requests are challenging the institution's decisions and is not provide service and pushing for their adjustment of their policies overall. According to as a cultural competence can be defined as a set of behaviors, attitudes, policies that enable systems agency of professional to function effectively across cultural differences. Cultural competence does not solely recognize gender, race, ethic background, etc. But it is also recognizes people who may have some perspective or shared values and beliefs as a diversity as a cultural competence of future society. As a National Association of Social Worker Code of Ethics is giving to the primary mission of the social work profession is to enable human well-being and help meet the basic needs all people as with particular attention to the need of empowerment of people who are vulnerable as oppressed and living in poverty. The National Social Workers as Code of Ethics was created to help guide social worker particulars in achieving the mission of the social work profession. The National Association Work Social Workers state the following in the variable as a social workers promote social justice and social change with the society. The ethical values of service is desirable as a social workers primary goal to assist people in need and to address social problems. Social workers promote social service to others overall self-interest. Self-workers use their knowledge, skills, and values assist the people in need and to address social problems. The social justice values purpose is challenge social justice. Social works chase a social change predominantly with and on behalf of vulnerable and oppressed individuals and group of people. Social workers' social change efforts are focused on issues of discrimination as a poverty, unemployment, and other systems of social justice under the during to dignity and worth of the person. As a social worker must be respect the innate to dignity and worth of persons. Social worker must treat each individual in respectful career manner, mindful and of individual differences and ethnic and cultural diversity. Social work must be promote clients socially responsible self-determination. Social work must be work enhance clients capacity and opportunity to change and to address their own needs. So the importance of human relationships Social work, particular as a participators, must be recognized the importance of human relationship in social work. Practitioner must be protected. The the explicit as a curriculum constitute the program's formal education structure and include the course and field education used for the each its program opinions. As journalist practice is utilized in the liberal arts and person in the environment framework to promote social and human well-being. Practitioners use a variety of intervention and presentation method in their with individuals, families, groups, and communities. The journalist, particular as a participator, applies ethic principles and critical thinking in practice at the micro and macro levels. As a specialized practice builds on generalist practice, specialized practice extends. Social work values skills and knowledge to assess and intervene within an area of specialization. Impact curriculum refers to the as the learning environment in which is the expect curriculum is presented. Implicit as the curriculum consists the following elements: the program's commitment to diversity, admissions and policies and procedures, advisement as a retention and determination policies to student participation in governance, faculty, administrative structure and resource assessment involves the systematic gathering of data about the student performance in social work competence at both generalist and specialized level of social work. The importance of empowerment in social work in society. They should be empowering by so it provides resources, a relationships and sets the tone which people can enhance their own lives. It's important for the clinical social workers to emphasize on clients' strengths, reforming and the use of language of solutions to guide clients in the direction to point out strengths and resources that are necessary for solving their problems and reaching their goals. They have to do for this conceptualization of employment. Social work as a social justice contract requires a core of ethical performances that give due consideration to both the clinical and as a critical dimension of empowerment. Social work to approach their clients from the an empowerment perspective. Oh, by empowerment clients, it may change their way of thinking, manage relationship in their life and the way they interact in their social environment. Social workers help clients to become aware of conflicts with themselves and their surroundings that appears or limit them and help clients become better able to free themselves to from the those who contains this. There are also limitations to empowerment of practice. Clients may rely on the role of social workers guidance to seek situations for their problems, referring the social worker an expert. Most importantly, a social worker cannot empower their clients if they themselves don't power. Social workers must have respect to and influence among their peer in service and professional works. They are educated and licensed professional who had a proper training license as a clinical social worker also undergo hours of supervision by another licensed clinical social worker. Look like a clinical social worker practice focus on the people, social environment, providing for the services that consist of assessment, diagnosis, treatment, including the psychotherapy as a counseling and client-centered advocacy, consultation and evolution. So social workers value the principles of the code of ethics while practicing in this profession. They focus on the clients to look like a life for the well-being while using strength on perspective and empowerment of to fulfillment.
Conclude, please. Conclude, please.
As two lines is here. As clients being while using and empowerment to fulfillment the clients and helping the clients focus on their goals. Social worker do justice when it comes to providing service for the clients, elevating the problem their lives different findings. Thank you. Excellent opportunity, sir. Hello.
Thank you.
Sir, unmuted, sir.
Please.
It's enough, sir. Completed my.
Thank you. Do you have any doubts? Yes. Do you have any doubts? No doubts. So
Last is opportunity for the chairperson of the Dr. K. Venkateswara, sir, and
thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Very nice presentation.
Without professor, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Yugandhar. Your presentation is very nice.
Welcome.
We are Yugandhar discuss about what is the importance of social work and involvement of social work now present to society. Very valuable suggestions. Very nice presentation. Thank you, Yugandhar.
Thank
so,
you. Welcome, sir.
So one more person is Suddhala Sudha. Suddhala Sudha. One more presentation. No. Suddhala Sudha is not here. Suddhala Sudha. Not present.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, ma'am. Please. Please, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay.
This is rural development under the myself, Sudha Research Scholars in Rural Development under the supervision of Professor M. Muninarayana Prasad Garu, Department of Rural Development and Social Work, SK University. First, I would like to thank the organizers of the webinar entailed the preeminence of the individual system and literature in the construction of an ideal society and wonderful Zoom platform. I thank to webinar directors and my guru, Professor M. Muninarayana Garu, and today section chairperson Dr. K. Venkateswara Garu. I would like to take this opportunity to present my paper on issue of gender discriminations or gender segregation as part of women empowerment in the today's national webinar. The main topic we need to right now is general discussion is gender segregations as part of women empowerment. Apart from making many reservation of women in the presentation society in education, employment, economy, social and sociological areas. There are also give constitutional rights yet women face gender discrimination in all areas. This gender discrimination start with giving birth to children and both of children as a mother cook and serve. The food to all members of the family loses independence with many problems and end. With the death of a woman, women have a very high position in mythology and many historical texts. Since time immemorial, women have the dignified place in India Hindu traditionals. Not only did he rule many kingdoms in the monarchy and make great strides, but many of the heroes who introduced heroism and Karjas led the way toward employment that was ideal for many women during the period. Among such notable women are Jhansi Lakshmi Bai, Rani Rudramadevi, Savitri Bai Phule, and Annie Besant, who participated in the Indian movement. However, the statistical data provide that there are many reasons for the increase in gender discrimination and gender segregation in the current society, which need to be reformed into an ideal society. I conclude my presentation. Thank you one and all for giving this opportunity.
Okay, Rama, do you have any doubts? Audience? So, no doubt. Thank you, Uma. Very nice presentation.
Sir,
The
next
topic-
year Ramalingaya, sir. Present.
Yes. Carry on. Ramalingaya. Please, Ramalingaya,
Sir,
please. Please.
sir, good afternoon, sir.
Which topic? Carry on. Start.
Yes, sir.
Which topic?
Sir, strategic approaches to the development of rural areas through rural development department in India.
Development area in rural areas. Okay. Strategic development. Carry on. Please.
Abstract. In India, majority of the population resident in rural communities. The development of all aspects within rural communities is vital for the effective development of the country. This includes the education, employment, opportunities, infrastructure, housing, civic amenities, and the environmental conditions. But more than rural individuals, they need to be aware of all modern and innovative methods and productivity within the country. The rural communities are still in an underdevelopment state. In the conditions of poverty, they are illiterate and unemployed. Due to these factors of poverty, they are unable to sustain their living conditions are in an appropriate manner. It is an essential to formulate programs, schemes, and measures that have the main objective of bringing about improvements in the communities. The main rural areas that have been taken into the account in this research paper include the concept of rural development approaches to the rural development and have role in development of rural areas. Introduction. Rural development, the building of life include the social, cultural, religious, political, India. More than 70% residents in the rural community. In the concept of development of the country is considered that main areas need to be empaneled upon the urban and rural. The development of both areas is necessary to in order to lead to effective growth and growth and development of the country. Therefore, the
Ramalaya, unmute yourself.
Sir, continue, sir.
Continue, Ramalaya. Audible.
The development planning measures which have been implemented through the plans, the intents of the schemes and programs have been included rural communities to bring about improvements in their living conditions. The development of the country is calculated within the development of rural communities. The basic objective of rural development is to organize development and utilize the available resources of land, water, and human resources in such a manner that an entire population is dependent upon these resources and have an equability opportunity to fulfill basic needs. Rural development takes into account both the economic development and a greater transformation of the individuals. With the purpose of enhancing the livelihoods of the rural individuals, there is a need to increase the participation of the individuals in rural development programs, decentralization of the planning, better enforcement of land reforms, and larger access to the credit. Working on this aspects will bridge the gap between rural and urban, divided to upgraded the standards of living of rural communities. The rural development involves the development of number of aspects. There is include irrigation facilities, expenses of electricity improvements, in the techniques of cultivation of enhancements, in the systems of education, health.
రామలింగ, మీ వాయిస్ వినిపించట్లేదు. రామలింగ, రామలింగ, అన్మ్యూట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి.
Sir,
అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి. సార్ ఆడిబుల్. యా.
Concept of rural development. The concept of rural development is a comprehensive aspects which take into consideration of number of factors. This is then used to main organizing thing which is to bring about the changes in the existing conditions in the favor of a better state. For several decades,
రామలింగ, అన్మ్యూట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్.
Sir, audible?
రామలింగ, కంటిన్యూ.
Sir, concept of rural development. The concept of rural development is a comprehensive aspects which it takes into consideration number of factors. This is term used to mean organizing things which bring about the changes in the existing conditions in favor of a better state. For several decades, the concept of rural development focused solely upon economic change, but at a later stage, the concept of got extending to take into the account economic, political, social, cultural, technological and physiological frame of the society. In other words, when they focusing upon the rural development, it just takes into the consideration the development of rural infrastructure, their overall living conditions, but it focuses upon the development of social, economic, political, cultural, technical, and religious aspects, as well as in promoting development of this aspects. It is vital to put up into the operation modern and innovative strategies, methods, and approaches that are the considered essential and progress in the overall quality of life, quality of life of the individuals, and in addition, individuals should be trained in terms of uses of the technology to bring about the technical progress. The term rural development is a major concern, particularly when one is focused upon the term rural development is a concern, particularly when one of the focus upon promoting effective growth and development of the country. India, rural areas are still in a backward state. And under number of programs and schemes need to be formulated to bring about the improvements. The term rural development can be used in a diverging state as a concept of it can promote overall development of rural areas. It has been concluded.
Sir, వెంకట్ గారు కొద్ది టైం తగ్గించండి. వెంకటరెడ్డి ఏంపా చైర్పర్సన్. ఆయన చైర్పర్సన్ ఉంటాడా లైన్లో? ఒకసారి పెట్టు. ఆయన మధ్యలో పెట్టు.
Approaches to rural development. There are not any universally accepted approaches to rural development. It is a choice that is influenced by time, space, and culture. Rural development is a comprehensive and a multi-dimensional concept. In rural areas, there are a number of aspects which are need to be improved. Just include agriculture, small scale industries, village and cottage industries, community. The approaches have been started to follow as multi-purpose approach. The major purpose of the multi-purpose approach is to lead to the all-round development of the villages based on self-help and self-reliance. It is regarded as a significant approaches which laid the foundation for the upliftment of rural India. During the early 1950s, rural development efforts,
conclude.
Multi-purpose approach.
Conclude, Cheppa.
Approach, area development approach, basic approach, employment-oriented integrated approach to rural development. Conclusion. The universities are playing a predominant role for the development of the society. The university I have been focused on the educated to the youth and direction of the youth and to the development of the society is one of dimensions, and second object of the to conduct various research studies and is really facing a problems by these people in the society, in which is and have found various solutions and make suggestions to the policy makers. So for the development of rural areas, rural development department have also given outcome, and it is should be implemented by the government as well as non-governmental organizations. So the government and non-government organizations have implementing the various rural development programs, but it is not reached the ultimate rural poor. Hence, they will try to implement policies and programs straightly and transparency more than only rural areas, and individuals were also developed in the nation. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Venkat sir, are you there? Venkat sir, you are unmuted.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Venkat sir. Thank you, sir. Center Professor Nirmanamlo sir, my blood professor and my guide, research supervisor. Very thankful, sir. Ashok sir.
Now I request A. Jamana Garu, academic consultant, Department of History, present his paper. Jamana sir.
He is here, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, audible sir. Please carry on.
This is Dr. Akibabu Jaman.
Yeah, audible. Continue, sir.
Sir, audible, sir?
Yeah, audible.
Sir.
Okay. Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, come on.
Dr.
Present your paper, sir.
Department of History, Sri Krishna Devaraya University.
Hello, proceed. Sir.
So, I am very happy to express my thanks to the august body of the Professor K. Murunayana Saru and Venkated Saru and Ashok Saru. I'm very happy to regarding to this. Just I am giving to the explaining the Dalit movements in South India. Let me say that the word Dalit is Dalit plus Lit. Dal means people, Lit means Dalits, just you can go through the Dalits and Democratic Revolution by the Gail Omelette. And another thing is, the another book is, Vyakthulu Michael, Dalits in India, Vision and Values. And apart from that, there is a book, called that Pasala Sudhakar and Dr. A. Jamana, is by the published Cambridge University, Dalits and Struggle for Social Justice
in Andhra Pradesh. These are the lot of references that give a huge description about the Dalits and their struggle for social justice in Andhra Pradesh. So regarding to that, there are a few words about tell the importance of the significance of the word of the Dalits. Let me say that there is a lot of names of there for the Dalits. Dalits, exterior caste, untouchables, and what do you call that? Those who are the suppressed by the depressed class, they are come under Dalits. So in this session, I am very happy to express my feelings regarding to Dalits. You know, there are in my paper, it's focus on the historical struggle for the Dalit movements in South India as well as in Andhra Pradesh. Number two, number second is, you know, the awareness of Dalits through the leadership qualities and atrocities of the Dalits in Andhra Pradesh. The third one is to analyze the Dalit struggle and their social justice in India. So these are the few concepts I want to go through these few concepts. You know. Let me say that historically, I explained that clearly about what are the historical incidents occurs in Dalits in the previous days. From the 1930 onwards, the word Dalit, the express Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Jyotirao Phule, and other the great Dalit stalwarts are referenced the different names and synonyms regarding the Dalits. So what I'm saying, you know, today the Dalits are they are the far away from the mainstream of the society. So the government has to take a strong initiatives regarding to the mingle the people in the mainstream of the society. Those are the lot of acts will be occurred regarding to the safeguards of the constitutional safeguard Dalits and for their rights. So these acts, what's the telling about the Dalits, you know, they want to do live in the society, not only the mainstream of the society, but also they are the full of humanness. They want to live in the social system. That is the strong desire of the government system. Even though the government is taking so many policies, even today the few decades have gone. Though Dalits are struggling a lot between they are facing the chronic hunger, and they are facing the extreme of untouchability in the rural areas of especially in the Kurnool district, you can see that is Tirupati, and you can say that Kailanjan, and